All right, folks, in today's video, we're going to be talking about XRP mass adoption, and not just mass adoption for XRP, but I'm going to be talking about a specific amendment that's being added to the XRP Ledger that's going to be a really big deal for onboarding new people into the XRP Ledger ecosystem. I'm also going to be talking about the government showing a little bit of interest in crypto. Despite the ongoing lawsuits from the SEC, we see other government agencies partnering up with crypto exchanges to actually be custodians for their crypto bags. So we're going to get right on into this update, folks. I appreciate you for stopping by. All of our community resources are available at ZachRector.com, and I greatly appreciate your support. Let's get right on into the update. Starting off here with our good friend Andy Sheckman from Miles Franklin says, is silver bouncing exactly where it is supposed to? Now, I don't know if this is Andy's technical analysis or if he's sharing somebody else's, but nonetheless, very interesting here to watch. $29 is support from the previous highs back in April, and also support from the 50-day moving average. Given a week or so, this looks like we may see another hook in the MACD, turning upwards and crossing over. I think we could see $34 to $37 on this next leg, but we need to see more work done here, digging of support. In any case, a very big move either up or down is in the cards, as we have spent nearly 3 weeks chopping in the $29 to $31 zone. Not overbought, not oversold, or nor oversold on the dailies, and coiled for a move one way or another. Add the fundamentals where silver is in a structural deficit and a snorting bull market and major short squeeze looks likely. Stay tuned. So I'm going to show you guys actually the chart for silver right here. And what's been interesting here is we've had a couple bounces off that just below $29 region. And $29 and $31 has been that level that we've been trading at here for now a couple weeks. This is the daily chart too, by the way. After climbing 48% to start off this year, just a massive run for silver. We've cooled off, but the support has been very strong. And I think that we're just going to have to watch the broader economy right now. If the markets continue to pump like they did the first half of this year, setting a record for the first half of an election year, then I believe that we will still see gold and silver remaining strong as well. Really, the main threat to gold and silver is a broader recession, which I do think is likely. And I do think that that does come in now between now and our election. So let's watch that for gold as well. After climbing 23% to start this year, gold is chopping sideways, but holding this support at that 2,300 range as well. Absolutely love to see it. But here's where we get that correction back down to 2,100, or for silver, a correction back down to $25, right? Which is totally normal, totally healthy, and it really doesn't take out the broader trend that we're seeing when you zoom way out on these charts. A new reality has already been entered for gold, going to new all-time high. For silver, looking for it to play catch-up. And speaking of commodities, I'll show you the oil chart as well. Oil did spike up here today as well. Couple factors coming into play. We have a hurricane that's off the coast here coming on in, and the worries around that. But then also the expectation that the Fed is going to potentially cut rates later this year, and that's going to boost our economy, along with the regular seasonal summer activity and pickup. That's driving oil prices higher. So we'll continue to watch that one. But nonetheless, I like a little bit of TA from Andy Sheckman on the silver update. Appreciate that. By the way, if you guys are looking to get precious metals, you guys know it's at my website, ZachRector.com. Now, let's get into cryptocurrency, guys. As I titled this episode, XRP Mass Adoption, this is a broader mass adoption moment for all of crypto. I'm going to talk about XRP in a second, but a couple data points before we get there. This is peak hypocrisy from the U.S. government. The U.S. Marshal Service announces partnership with Coinbase to safeguard and trade its large cap digital assets portfolio. I wonder if they have some XRP. Now, the U.S. Marshal is seizing assets, right, in criminal activity. They're typically coming into cryptocurrency by seizing these assets, but they've now partnered up with Coinbase, which is absolutely peak hypocrisy, because the other government agency, the SEC, is currently suing Coinbase for being a custodian. Meanwhile, the U.S. Marshals are going to use their custodial services. What are we doing? What has happened in this country? Now, across the pond over there in, well, not just Great Britain has passed some legislation there as well, but in Europe, we now see that MICA has gone live official yesterday. And we have the Chief Strategy Officer from Circle, Dante Disparte, putting out this announcement here today. It says it's a real honor to share that Circle has become the first global stablecoin issuer to be MICA compliant for both USDC and the Euro issued by Circle. Years in the making, today's announcement marks a major milestone in how regulated digital currencies will become a permanent pillar in the European and global economy. Now, that's great. Congratulations to Circle. Fantastic work over there. And, you just love to see the regulations finally coming into play here and what this is doing for institutions. They already got the first compliant US dollar, and then they got the first compliant euro over there in that region. And what I'm going to be watching for is to see if Ripple launches a euro stablecoin or if they rely on one of their partners to issue a euro stablecoin. But nonetheless, it is coming to the XRP Ledger as well. I think it's a big mistake that Circle made by not issuing on the XRP Ledger. Ripple's now going to take all of that market share that was an opportunity for Circle that they just completely missed for whatever reason. And what we're going to see here is Ripple's launching their stablecoin in the US dollar one. Will they launch the euro? We'll see. But I think that we're going to see many other national currencies issued on the XRP Ledger as well. And speaking of the XRP Ledger, we got an amendment here, little proposal, XLS 71D, initial owner reserve exemption. To get around the owner reserve without compromising the logic behind it, and to allow new users to get started without reserve funding, we have this proposal going forward. And this one would give the first two account-owned objects on the XRP Ledger being free. So for those of you guys who don't know, the reserve used to be 20 XRP to open up a wallet. So you needed a minimum of 20 XRP to open up an XRP wallet. That got lowered to 10, okay? And I believe that the trust lines, which is all of the issued assets, for example, if you want Casino Coin, you got to set aside a trust line with 2 XRP. And I think that the trust line used to be 5. Maybe I'm mistaken on that. But nonetheless, right now, the minimum is 10 XRP to open up a wallet, and then it's 2 XRP per trust line. What this proposal would do would remove that for the first 2 objects, or the first 2 account-owned objects on the XRP Ledger would be free. Now, a lot of developers and a lot of companies have said, hey, this is a hindrance to being able to get adoption, because for somebody to open up a wallet, or for me to even be able to give them free tokens or a free NFT, they need to have 10 XRP to open up a wallet. And then they need to have 2 XRP to open up the trust line just to be able to receive the tokens that I want to give them. Just to be able to onboard a client, we need basically 12 XRP. Well, this would change that, and I'm going to have to read into this proposal a little bit further to get all of the technicalities correct. But to simplify this in the initial reading, basically my understanding is that this would allow projects to cover this for the first 2 objects. And, someone asked a question here, and Vet responded, will new user be able to make a free account, receive an NFT with no reserve, and then send that NFT to a different wallet with no reserve? Vet says, in this case, the first 64 NFTs are held without reserve. You still need to activate the account with 10 XRP, but with this approach, validators can lower base reserve to, for example, 5 XRP and keep 2 XRP owner reserve, but still help new accounts on owner reserves by waiving them. So I that's what I'm saying. I still got to read in the technicalities of how this actually works. Mayuka responds, and Mayuka, she's from Ripple, senior software engineer at Ripple X, says, I like it. Basically just expanding the 2 free trust line policy to all objects. Vet says, yes, instead of making the trust line case an outlier, we make it the general approach. And if someone wants to enforce owner reserve on an object creation, they can explain why. So this is just kind of a small amendment that many people were probably going to overlook, but it's a big deal for onboarding new clients. Remember, we only have 5 million wallets on the XRP Ledger. That's nothing, right? As we push towards billions of users in the crypto DLT space, right? We want to lead in ease of access, in making our products seamless. like I'm saying, we reach mass adoption when folks don't even realize that they're using crypto. They're just looking at what's a US dollar derivative on their phone, on their computer, on their bank statement. It's a US dollar derivative, but on the back end, it's a CBDC, it's a stable coin, it's an issued asset by some form of entity on DLT technology. And so the mass adoption moment for the XRP Ledger is coming for the broader cryptocurrency space. It has already arrived and beginning, and it's only going to pick up and accelerate from here. We've gotten in early on this asset. It's a matter of just picking the winners with real world utility and with real institutions and people that matter that are going to be adopting this technology as well. Otherwise, as we've seen in the space so far, you're banking on speculators coming into your project. So far, up until now, this crypto space gets pumped up by speculators flooding into a project and then leaving the project. What this is bringing is not, we are definitely still going to have speculation, but this is a new wave of institutional liquidity, institutional DeFi, and I think that the XRP Ledger is going to be one of the leaders in that regard, as we've already been seeing XRP set the standard as XRP in and of itself not being a security. Then we're looking at all of the utilities being added at the protocol level, completely decentralized. That's setting a standard. Ripple's now setting a standard with their stablecoin, and they'll be able to show institutions around the world, hey, if you want to issue assets on the XRP Ledger, this is how you get it done. And so I think that we're going to be leading the charge when it comes to this new mass adoption wave of real utility coming. I think that we're perfectly positioned, and this bull run is going to take XRP to a much higher price. I'll let you guys speculate on that in the comments down below. I'm going to wrap up this session. If you appreciate our updates, you guys know what to do. Make sure you guys have subscribed, hit that notification bell, and tap it on the way out for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the next one. God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.